Previously on Robot Rebellion, 12th seeds Chucky had their world turned upside down as unstoppable force moved all objects to secure their place in the top 16. Chucky wasn't done though and managed to climb back into contention with a play-in spot. Let's see who'll join them. Welcome back to Robot Rebellion 2024, the toughest Beetle weight competition in the UK. I'm your host, Jevon Woodrow.
And I'm Anderson Hill, and I'll tell you what, Jevon, we're now at the halfway point of the series. Very, very exciting so far. The bracket currently is looking like it's going to be very, very exciting. Lots more action to happen, though. Nowhere near ready yet. So let's go find out who's in this heat.
Thanks, Anderson. Tonight we have the number 4 seeds Icebreaker return to the competition. This vertical spinner is up against it as they face Beans, Luchador and Paradigm Spin. More on the competitors in just a little bit. First though, the format. Here's a reminder on how the competition works. 4 robots enter into a round robin of matches, each fighting each other once, earning points as they go. The winner of the heat is the robot with the most points at the end of the episode, earning a spot in the round of 16, with second place heading into the play-ins for a last chance to qualify. In the event of a tied heat, a lockdown rumble will decide who moves through. The robots can earn 5 points for a knockout win, 4 for a judge's win, 2 for a judge's loss, and 1 for a knockout loss. That's all that out of the way. Without further ado then, let's take a look at our first matchup tonight. Icebreaker, Adam Stanley's vertical spinner, the top 4 they made last year. This heavy hitter is very violent at self-righting. Will that stop them? Who knows? We shall find out as they go up against this heat's other big spinner, Paradigm Spin. I want to believe this UFO-shaped full-body spinner has chaotic speed, but it is quite self-destructive with a new microphone-shaped protection. Will they be phoning home? We'll find out. Loaded into the box, we have our seed for Heat F, which is the number 4 seed, Icebreaker. Always a force to be reckoned with. This thing hits hard. It is going up against one of our microphones by the looks of things. What's that doing over there?
No, that's Paradigm Spin, aka the hockey puck from hell. You're about to find out why it's called that sometimes.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed of both of these robots, hitting the wall in a big way is Paradigm Spin as it goes... Oh dear, well that's over. It goes spiralling around the arena, and that is that. Yeah, the link is gone.
The removable link is stored in that microphone piece, and that comes out, the robot is dead.
Very quick win there for Icebreaker, but some fantastic hits early doors. Crash Bang Wallop, what a picture! Next match sees Luchador, Jack Franklin's grabber lifter. This previous champion of a different robot combat event is fast, low and powerful. It's very complicated to repair though, that is Jack's biggest worry going in. He faces newbies Joseph Clark and Beans. This pusher has very thick front armour, but it's thin almost everywhere else. This build comes straight out of the DT room. Let's see how well their technology is designed. Loaded into the box for our second fight in Heat F, we have Luchador, the grabber lifter, a champion in its own right. They were here last year with the Chili Daddy. This grabber lifter is very cool. They are going up against Pusherbot Beans.
Yep, a complete newcomer to the competition. Let's give them lots of support and a warm welcome to the competition.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go then. Little box rush there from Beans, but Luchador managed to avoid it and get the grab onto Beans. Couldn't quite get the full lift and suplex though. They are looking to do that.
Beans, meanwhile, looking to get their wedge in. Oh, but one of the wheels has come off. One of the wheels has come off on that side wall. That means Beans will now be at a huge disadvantage. And Luchador now a firm favourite to win this one.
Now, I think we should start coming up with ideas of what that new pit button can do. Because a tyre against the wall, all I see is arena hazard. So, drop zone?
Yeah, Beetle drop zone will be fun. Drop microwaves on them. The pit has now been enabled. Luchador trying to grab a hold of Beans, and if there's one thing you can say about Beans, it is apparently very, very hard to get a hold of, because so far it's failed to do so every single time it's tried.
I mean, have you ever tried to grab hold of Beans? They just slop everywhere, so... Oh, there goes the other wheel at about 1,000 washers. I think that could well be it for Beans. They are being
movement.
counted out.
Movement! We need movement!
Luchador continuing to sort of push them around the arena. It looks a little bit sad.
Seize.
That was a very convincing win for Luchador, the veteran.
I think they're trying to clean up now.
Joseph, I understand you are a brand new builder, new robot, first time event. How are you feeling? I know it wasn't a particularly good result, but getting into that arena, how are you feeling right now?
I mean, it was funny. It was really funny, because I literally said to my dad just before we went into the box, I hope Beans' wheels don't fall off, and both wheels fell off. And every time I test drove it, the wheels fell off, but I'm too lazy to fix that. So, I mean, I tried to put this wedge on the front to try and get underneath Luchador. Didn't really work. It was moving sluggishly for some reason. I'm not particularly sure why. Probably because I built it using random things I could find in my DT workshop at school. And, you know, half of the robots hot glued together, and then the other half is using wood screws. Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I mean, I didn't come here expecting to win, and I got to fight a champion. I asked him to suplex me, but he couldn't, even though this is like the perfect shape to fit into his jaws. Yeah, just had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Jack is a bit of a veteran. He's been around. He kind of knows what to do. But, you know, you don't seem disheartened, which is really good. I've been in your position with, like, budget builds and, like, with things out I can just find around in my shed. And can you get it repaired? I know you said the wheels are a bit problematic, but can you sort of, like, curtail that? Can you negate?
Super glue.
Super glue.
Super glue.
Super glue is the best thing to fix robots with. You will learn that.
Yeah, I've got super glue and hot glue. Don't need anything else.
That is good. I wish you all the best of luck, because budget robots, they are my thing. So good luck. Right, I was just saying to Joseph, like, you've been around on the scene for quite a while. You know what you're doing.
Yeah, a couple of years now. I've, I'm one of the COVID roboteers. Learned how to build during COVID, and just ended up jumping in the deep end like pretty hard.
I mean, what really goes through your mind when you're fighting a newbie? Because I've been on the other side of, like, deadly competitors, and it is very nerve-wracking. But it's kind of unlucky that Joseph lost both of his wheels in that fight. But what did you do to sort of, like, take advantage of that?
I don't really know what I did to take advantage of that. I mean, I go into it the way I go into any fight to start with. Thankfully, when you're running a control bot, you don't have that, like, potential guilt of smashing them to pieces or anything like that. It's just going to be driving around and flipping each other over. So I went in and, I tried to keep it going a little bit so it didn't end too fast. But once both wheels are off, like, what can you do? But yeah, my lifter wasn't quite working right either, so I need to investigate that and find out what's going on.
Are we going to see a suplex in the future?
If I can fix the motor and find out what's going on, I hope so.
Cool. You heard it here first.
Well, here's our first point check-in of the evening. Icebreaker and Luchador, the two former champions, they take the top spots in the heat. Beans and Paradigm Spin on 1 point apiece. We head to the top of the table for our first match of round 2. It's going to be Icebreaker versus Luchador, and this is going to be a huge match. As I said, two former champions, both of previous Bristol Bot Builder events over in Bristol, strangely enough. Icebreaker, they've won it with that big spinner. Luchador, the grabber lifter, two very different tactics, but both very much playing the ground game. Who can get the lowest? That is the question as we limbo down to the arena. We're ready for our next fight here, and it is going to be a big one between Two champions in their own right. Icebreaker wins just about everything, has won just about everything this year in the Beetleweight UK combat scene. They are up against Luchador, the champion of BBB champs.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed is Icebreaker and bouncing off of those forks and spiraling through the air madly.
Yeah, some big hits there straight away. Sparks flying off the arena floor. Sparks also flying there. Luchador doing a good driving though to control Icebreaker and keep that spinner at bay. They nearly went out the arena there.
Tried to get a suplex but didn't quite manage it, and getting stuck on the arena seams, the pit seams in particular, is Icebreaker. Those forks are very low, but possibly too low. They're being pushed up and around by Luchador, and that's a great little grab. I think more gyroscopic procession was the cause of that, but a great toss there from Luchador, who is now up on its forks. Can he get down from there? Or is this the weirdest knockout I've seen all day?
I'll tell you what, if that is it, that is the most unfortunate knockout. But it does prove that whilst forks are effective, they don't come without their issues as well. The count has started. There's 4 seconds to go. Luchador, I think, is done for. And that is another KO victory for Icebreaker.
That is such a shame. I have said on several occasions that Icebreaker is one of these most durable robots that even if it starts the fight off on the back foot, all it needs to do really is outlast its opponent, and then it can start wailing the hits in. It gets the good hit in, and it's all over for the opponent, and that is much the case again here.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so.
Okay, we are here with the ever-popular Luchador. Unfortunately, though, bit of a rough match this time against Icebreaker. How did you think it went?
I think it went sort of reasonably well up until it didn't. It's not the way you want to go out. It's obviously, pretty gutting to have just, a 1 in a million kind of stacking thing happen, but it happens, and I need to obviously look at like my fork geometry and what's going on, and I've been plagued with weapon issues all day. So
Were you aware that Luchador could do the thing?
I was not. No, I was not aware, and it certainly wouldn't if the weapon was working.
So you brought Luchador back for this event. You've also run the Chili Daddy before.
Yeah.
Why the change back to Luchador instead of running Chili Daddy?
So Chili Daddy's kind of between sort of a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. It's going through a redesign. So it's going to change a bunch, hopefully for the better. And Luchador's was in a good place, and then I broke a servo and have had to rework the weapon, and that doesn't seem to be working. But so yeah, it's more just a kind of alternating between the two, and also, I don't know, I am a control bot driver first and foremost. I think I miss it when I'm not doing it.
I mean, one of your most successful times with Luchador was winning one of the BBB championships. Are you hoping for past glory to come again and you can win another champion with Luchador?
Maybe eventually. Certainly won't be this weekend, I don't think. I'm being plagued with issues. But yeah, I would love to get a similar result again, and I think Luchador as a platform has the potential. I think the version I've got with me right now has problems.
Well, hopefully you can sort those problems out and progress further on in the tournament today. Okay, we are here with Icebreaker, coming off a very tense moment there. Very lucky win. How did you think the match went?
I think I was pretty lucky in the end. It's just, I did the thing.
Yeah, Icebreaker was bouncing quite a lot around the arena. Were you worried that you may have potentially bounced into and out of the arena zone or down the pit?
Yeah, I've done that before as well, so it was very tense when that happened, but yeah.
So how difficult is it to fight a control robot, a highly pedigreed robot like Luchador with a vertical spinner that can bounce and gyro all around the place?
Yeah, it's very difficult to control, especially when you're being controlled by Luchador. So.
Well, it was a pretty good win, and we'll hope to see you again in the tournament later on. Thank you very much.
Our next match sees Wedge versus Spinner, Paradigm Spin, Mark Mellor's full body spinner here. Very chaotic as we saw previously. How chaotic will it be against the mighty Beans? Beans coming off of an unfortunate loss where they lost both wheels, and I imagine Paradigm Spin will be looking to replicate here. Can Beans keep its wheels? Can Paradigm Spin keep its removable safety link? Let's find out down in the arena.
Loaded into the box right now in the red square, we have Beans with the very, very adorable eyes. Hopefully his wheels will stay on this time, Jevon, as they both decided to fall off in the last fight. And they're going up against the Hockey Puck from Hell Paradigm Spin. Hopefully their link will stay in this time because it fell off last time.
Yeah, there's some really cool nicknames coming out of you today. I'm enjoying this.
I'm trying.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Here we go then, up to speed is Paradigm Spin, and Beans coming in for a look and has been sent away and has lost an eye. Beans has lost an eye.
Well, that's
it's
it
the
then.
end of the world.
It's all over. That's
Paradigm
it.
Spin, meanwhile,
the eye was all
is
it had going for it.
spiraling madly around the arena.
I think Beans is down on one side of its drive. Only one of those wheels, the right-hand wheel, seems to be working. But they are using their front wedge to good effect to deflect the spinning power of Paradigm Spin. And they are moving out of their circumference zone as well, so they are still technically in this fight.
I'm mildly concerned. I've said before that Paradigm Spin requires the forces of both science and chaos. It employs chaos as its weapon. And nobody can control it because of this fact. Beans is a little bit still here. No, still moving. And another good hit. The link has fallen. And there will be a count out as Beans sits idle on the arena.
Well, whilst that was a bit of a dominant victory, you've got to give it to Beans the newcomer for bringing the Beans to Paradigm Spin.
This has to be one of the most unpredictable robots I think I've ever seen fight. How do you do it?
Well, so I was thinking about this heat, and I'm up against some really good drivers, and the only way I'm going to beat them is embrace the chaos and just like go with bouncing around, the unpredictable. They won't be able to respond because I can hit an arena wall and bounce and hit the back of them before they've got a chance to respond. So it's also difficult to drive because it's very fast. The magnets give it a lot of traction. So, yeah, I need to learn to drive better, to be honest.
Obviously, trial by fire with Joseph. Like, this is his first event, first Beetle. He's got a pretty stacked heat. And to be fair, he did pretty well. Like I think he kind of used your unpredictability to his advantage. And, yeah, I mean, it was a fairly easy fight, like, not going to lie. But... yeah, seeing this bounce around, it just makes my day. Like,
yeah, I was pleased it bounced around for quite a while. Like, I kept going. The first fight, I died quite quickly. It was 2 hits and I was dead. So it's nice to see it can keep going, which makes me feel a bit better about the next fight. That's going to be hard, but Luchador is very tough opponent. But if I can just keep bouncing around, I'm happy. Like I don't care if I end up in the pit or I end up out of the arena. I just want to keep spinning and keep going. Yeah.
What improvements did you make over last year? If I remember correctly, you had a few link issues. Like, is the link still in the same place?
Yeah. So I've strengthened the link holder. Obviously not enough. I need to work on that even more. I made the wheels a little bit bigger because I think I grounded out last time. Like sometimes the drive stopped, but then came back to life. So it's been driving nice. Actually, it has driven better at this event than on previous ones. So I think the wheels have helped. But otherwise it's just the same.
Impressive as always. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Joseph, I was just saying to Mark, you are in quite a stacked heat. You've got quite some formidable robots in there, but you took some of them hits pretty well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most fun I've ever had. I was like terrified going into it. I was like, oh no, my robot's going to get destroyed. I'm never going to be able to build it again. But I mean, it's not that bad.
I mean, the fact that you came out with both wheels this time.
Yeah. I mean, just a little bit more screwing of them is better. I mean, if you look here, the only real damage was here. He came across here.
Yeah, do you want to, we'll point that to the camera if we can.
He came across here, and it so it bent this in, and then it hit this here and pulled it out, which is what jammed up this wheel.
Oh yeah, you can see the.
So and apart from that, it was a googly eye and a trolley wheel that was hot glued on.
I mean, the trolley wheels I think are actually inspired. That is actually a really good idea to stop it from catching on the back. From my perspective, that looks like an easy fix.
Yeah, I mean, it's not I thought it would be ripped to shreds, but the Hardox plate on the front held up well, and I don't really think that there's too much damage. Yeah. I mean, he didn't even actually damage the link that much. Oh wait, no, it's cracked. But yeah, I think he just came through and knocked everything off. So, but yeah, it was really fun.
Good. I'm glad you had a good time. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a good fight. Fingers crossed for the next fight.
I'm loving the Beans team energy. Let's keep it going. Here's your points check-in. 10 points for Icebreaker. They go perfect so far. Luchador and Paradigm Spin tied on 6 points apiece, and Beans down the bottom on 2. Our next match is heading to the top and bottom. Icebreaker takes on Beans. Icebreaker, you've got to think, are the favourites here, having had a lot of experience and previous champions of the BBB events. They are up against complete newbies to the competition. This is their first ever robot, their first ever competition. This is going to be a trial by fire for Beans. And as we know, Beans, they don't do well in fire. They boil and they burn. Beans on ice, however, that could be a different story. We will find out if any of that makes sense in the arena. Loaded into the box, we have a match between Icebreaker and Beans. This is going to be a rough match on Beans, I feel. This is a very, very potent robot, and they are quite new.
You wanted an initiation. This is your initiation.
Yeah, this is the trial by ice.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed is Icebreaker. Beans is tactically running away.
Yeah, struggled a little bit getting out of his starting square there. Something came flying off there. I think it was one of the rear casters on the robot. And now, oh, both robots are stuck under the arena side wall. We could have a double count out here. The referee started the count. Both robots are stuck. Not too sure who got stuck first. Double knockout for the moment. And we're going to have to look at the footage and see what happened there.
I believe it goes to the judges at this point to judge the very, very short fight that we have just seen. With a double knockout, the fight would usually go to the judges. However, both Roboteers wish to continue the fight, and who are we to stop them? So, respecting the sportsmanship, we will reset, with the winner earning 4 points and the loser earning 2 to account for the double knockout prior. Back to the arena for the rest of this fight.
Robot ears, stand by.
Here we go then. Icebreaker in the blue, Beans in the red.
3, 2, 1, begin.
Up to speed. Beans across the arena, coming in to try and attack, but Beans gets stuck on the wall. The link is gone. The link has been killed, and that could well be it. Well, a snipe shot there from Icebreaker.
To be fair, it could have gone a lot worse for Beans. At least it's not a has-been.
Our final match tonight sees Jack Franklin's Luchador take on Mark Mellor's Paradigm Spin. This is for all the marbles. A spot in the play-ins is up for grabs for the winner of this match. Luchador, the grabber lifter, they've struggled tonight with weapon issues. They have a new strategy against Paradigm Spin. Some say they might be a little bit resistant to it. We'll find out what that means and whether Paradigm Spin can rise above it. Literally. Let's head to the arena. Okay, loaded into the arena. This is a very different looking Luchador. No grab lift. This is all defense against what I can only describe as the UFO from beyond. It's Paradigm Spin. They're in the blue square, and they're looking to get a win here. Either of these robots stand a chance of progressing to a play-in.
Yes, so everything to play for here.
Robot ears, stand by. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Paradigm Spin up to speed, but bouncing immediately off of a wall and upside down and disco dancing. Everybody get your groove on.
It is frighteningly quick to get up to speed, Paradigm Spin, but as you can see, that makes it one of the most hard to control machines in the tournament, and for that we absolutely love and adore it and hope it comes back every year, because it always puts on a great laugh and a good spectacle as it sends itself flying through the air.
Luchador, meanwhile, this might be a more defensive setup, but they certainly are controlling the pace of the match. They're just keeping Paradigm Spin at bay for now. The occasional little hit from Paradigm Spin, but on the whole, it's Luchador who is in command.
Going down.
Using good aggression as well to keep the
Going
fight
down.
coming to Paradigm Spin, stopping them from spinning up properly, and every time they do get a chance to spin up properly, they're being off-centered by those wedges. The pit is open. Will Paradigm Spin go down? Oh, good evasive driving there by Paradigm Spin.
It was very close, and there's the little shimmer and shake that we saw earlier on. Across the arena it goes again. Luchador just sort of waiting in place to see where on earth it's going to land next. And it could honestly be anywhere.
Yeah, round and round and round it goes. Where will it land? No one knows.
Not even the team. Not even the team. I will say, Paradigm Spin is one of the most durable robots in the competition. To have this amount of force going through it, ricocheting from left to right, up and down, literally on command as well.
Oh! How on earth did that happen? It somehow survived, but the removal link has come out.
It's one of the weirdest knockouts I've seen today.
Yes,
that was
so.
peculiar. Paradigm Spin hit the pit, and as they were on their way down, they were like, nah, flew out, lost their link. And that was that.
Very different setup to what we're used to. Yeah, all defense against Paradigm Spin. How do you fight something that spends most of the time in the air?
I guess from like my perspective, I treat it the same as any other horizontal. So it's just about a case of staying on it and staying as close to it and keeping like the defensive front end pointed towards it as best you can. And so when it lands is to hit it again before it can like recover and spin back up. So that way you're only overtaking those like low energy hits.
I mean, you're very good at keeping up the pressure, I've noticed. I mean, how do you fight something like that? Like Mark has built a wonderful, weird machine, and every fight I've seen it in has been spectacular. You're actually very lucky to come out with not a lot of damage, in all fairness.
Yeah. I mean, very lucky to have come out with pretty minimal damage. I think this is quite a strong setup against sort of horizontal spinners. But yeah, it's very much like chasing a bouncing ball that's going crazy, and just being there for when it bounces, so that you can make that contact and not give them the time to recover. But yeah, that's the kind of tactic I take.
Yeah, I mean, very spectacular fight and a very good win.
Thank you.
Mark, talk me through what happened there. If you can piece together what happened.
It was the chaos as expected. It went exactly to plan, in so much as I bounced around and I kept bouncing around and I kept bouncing around. I was very rarely in control, I'll be honest.
You mean to say that this robot is controllable?
If the weapon's down, it's not too bad, but with the weapon on, yeah.
Jack, it's quite a formidable roboteer. I mean, so are you. We've been around for quite a while. But seeing this, just take the hits from the floor itself is impressive enough.
Yeah, I'm pleased with how robust it is. We spoke at a previous event and my objective was pinball around the arena, and it does that fine. I think it only died that time because the link cap caught on the pit, like on the edge of the pit. Escaped the pit, but no link.
Yes, like anti-gravity, the way out. I always love seeing this fly around the arena. There's got to be some rule against it, surely. But yeah.
I think I hit a camera, and the camera is this high up in the corner of the roof.
Was that what you was aiming for?
I think that's a record for a bounce for me.
Very good. I always love seeing you perform. So yeah. I know it wasn't a win, but I loved that.
Mr. Mellors, we will be charging you for that. Here's your final points for tonight. Icebreaker on 14, they win the heat. Luchador, they move on with 11 points to the play-ins. Unlucky for Paradigm Spin and Beans, but an immensely entertaining evening from both and all. Thank you so much for watching from Anderson Hill, Jimmy Cottam and Ty Daly. I've been Jevon Woodrow. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.